Hey guys, this is Raven with the Regal Reptile and welcome to the 500 subscriber question and answer video. I'm so excited and so blessed that so many of you guys thought my channel was neat enough to subscribe and become part of the Regal family. I actually did get some questions. I didn't get a whole lot, but that's okay. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll be able to use the community forums and I'll be able to ask questions there, and I think that would make the Q&A videos a lot better and a lot more questions. So let's get up to 1,000, guys. Invite your friends, become part of the Regal family. We can go on our reptile journeys together. I love reading y'all's comments. I love responding to them, and so we're gonna respond to some questions right now. So here we go. Heidi M asks, how many reptiles do you have? Do you have other animals? What setup do you have for your beardy? Okay, how many reptiles do I have? Let's see. I have Maxwell the bearded dragon, Saturn the leopard gecko, Caldera the corn snake, Newton the bald python, and Kelvin the tegu. I think that's all the reptiles I have. Am I forgetting anyone? No, I'm not. I do have one other animal that is not a reptile, and that's Ori the axolotl. We did have a couple of fish, but something crazy happened and we don't anymore. So we're going to go on the journey together, you guys and I, of restarting a fish aquarium and getting everything set up. So that'll be cool. But that's all the reptiles I have and the other animals. And what setup do I have for my bearded dragon? Well, let's take a look at it. So this is my bearded dragon setup. And it is in a nice entertainment center that we repurposed just for that. There's Saturn down there, the leopard gecko. Right now Maxwell the bearded dragon is asleep, but he has two hides, one here on the warm side and one here on the cool side. He has some slate tile for hard substrate and some soil sand mix for the loose substrate or bedding. As far as lighting is concerned, he has a 100-watt basking spotlight and a T5HO 12% 24-inch UVB light and fixture from Arcadia. The UVB light's really, really important, so keep that in mind. If you want more information about how to set up a bearded dragon enclosure, you can look at my previous videos for the bearded dragon care guide and the bearded dragon guide for substrate or bedding, so give those a look. Next question comes from R6Time. What is your favorite book? All right, my favorite books, I got them with me, is the Mist series from Rand Miller. I love these books. There are 3 books in the series, but honestly, read these 2. They're the best. They also have a series of games that kind of go along with the books. The first game is called Mist, and the next couple of games, Mist and Riven are the first 2 games. They're really old games, they're click games, but they're puzzle games and you really have to think about them. But they go along with these books really, really well. And it talks about a whole civilization underground and everything. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys, but I love these books. And you go check them out. The Mist series from Rand Miller. Check them out, they're really cool. My next question is from RX Ego. How persistently should you clean your chameleon's cage? Okay, that's a really good question because chameleons are fragile and difficult animals to keep. So what you want to do is at least once a week, you want to wipe down everything, spot clean, look for poop, especially in the leaves underneath the chameleon's basking spot, and you want to get all that out. You can use diluted vinegar water, and there's other cleaning products out there that are safe for reptiles as well. But you definitely want to do a good wipe down every week. And then at least every 2 weeks to every month, you want to take everything out of the cage and really get into the plant leaves and clean it out. Clean all that poop out, clean the dried shed skin or anything. You don't want anything in the bottom of the cage that's poop or anything, because chameleons live in a warm, kind of humid environment, and you really don't want the bacteria or anything to grow, because you don't want any nasty stuff on your reptiles. All right, last question. Stone Desilets asks, what is your favorite reptile and what do you think people should know before getting their first reptile? That's a hard question to answer because I love all of my reptiles, but my very first reptile was a corn snake named Cornelia because I was very creative back then. And I loved her. She touched so many people. She was small and interesting and beautiful and kind. And so many people who hated snakes ended up falling in love with her. So I fell in love with her too. I love corn snakes. I think they are right now one of my favorite reptiles. And so Caldera will have to get the You're My Favorite Reptile. I'm not going to tell the other reptiles that she's my favorite, but if you guys want a snake, I highly recommend getting a corn snake, hands down. They're not huge and threatening. They're small and friendly, and they're wonderful. They're also easy to take care of, and they just have great personalities. As far as what new people who want to get into reptiles should know, I have 3 things. First, do your research. Figure out what you want and research it really, really well before even picking one up at all. All right. Number 2, if your animal needs things like lights or substrate or a different cage, go look for those things and look up how much they cost. So many people start out with the wrong kind of lights, and when I tell them what kind of lights they need, they kind of freak out because they're a little expensive, some of the lights are. So definitely budget and look how much money things are going to cost before you grab your reptile. For example, a green iguana is not that expensive. You can go to a pet store and get one. They're like $70 or less, but their cage, by the time they're adults, they need expensive lighting, they need expensive heat bulbs, they need a big cage. They're gonna cost you a lot of money. So definitely research how much your animal, not just the animal, but what the animal needs is gonna cost. And then my last thing is definitely look up what the animal will be like when they're an adult. So many people get snakes or iguanas and they have no clue how big they're gonna get, and then they get way too big and the people are like confused, and a lot of reptiles get rehomed that way. Reptiles can live to be 20 years or older. So really understand it's gonna be a time commitment. So do your research cost, and research size. So yeah, those were all the questions that I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to help out the numbers so we can get to 1,000 subscribers, you can subscribe to the channel. If you think other people would like this kind of content, definitely share the video and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, because YouTube will share it more for me. Leave a comment down below if you have any more questions, because I love answering your comments. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. See y'all.